せーの
10周年直前生放送グラブルアニバーサリースペシャル
Hey folks, how's it going? The 10th anniversary livestream brought a lot of interesting news, but I've got a few mixed feelings about it. It felt a bit light. But let's go over it in order. First, the versus news, with a small trailer for Vayne, followed by my favorite two brain cell Dumbo. Not a single thought behind Beatrix's eyes, but that's why we like her. Vayne will be joining the roster in April, Beatrix in May. I guess that's why they didn't reveal Sandalphon, Vicala and Versusia just yet. We'll probably hear more about them halfway through the year. They were followed by Catalina's Casino skin, which not only looks crazy, but is also going to be added to the Rupee shop on March 12. Then we move to Relink. After a thank you message for 1 million copies sold, we had another preview for the Lucilius boss fight. Lots of AoEs, lots of spells getting spammed, and are those renunciation and repudiation buffs? Followed by what looks like Omen to clear off the ground? That's going to be one hell of a fight. And as an added surprise, we're also getting a little help from Sandalphon. As if that wasn't enough, there's his blue version. It might be just one fight, and I hear some people are disappointed by the lack of endgame content, but as far as I know, Relink was never supposed to be a live service game. I'm afraid at best we might get a Monster Hunter-like content schedule. The raid will go live on March 14th, and it looks like Ono didn't take well the guest character part announcement.
ゲストキャラクターゲストどのプレイヤー
気になりますよね
His hopes didn't stay crushed for long though, as Sandalphon will be the next playable character joining the roster in May. Before we get that though, a preview of the animations for Siete and Song. Siete's animation go from cool to absolutely insane. They held nothing back for these and it shows. The 7 sword spirits before the ultimate are absolute cinema. And this is one of the hypest things I've seen in a while. Little did I know though that the best had yet to come. Song flies in with a spread bow and massive AoEs. The jump attack, the aerial, the dragon pierce with clincher. I am in love. And straight through my heart goes her ultimate. The wings. The wings. That is the best ultimate in the entire game, bar none. The update will be coming out in late April, and apparently I have some more quests too. Thankfully, that's far from the Guild War as well, and with a bit of luck, I should finally be able to buy and play the game myself by then. If you like my videos and subscribe to the channel, that's also going to help a lot as well. And now, it's time for the gacha game news. We open with an animated trailer for the game going over the past events. Looks like this will be mostly just cut up for promotional purposes, but it's still very pretty. The first slides are for the MagnaFest. The 10th anniversary preparations ends today and will leave the place for the 10th anniversary celebration proper, adding the login campaign for 200 extra daily crystals and the exclusive campaign missions, going down to March 31st. Afterwards, we'll have 14 more days of MagnaFest, keeping up with the double experience and half-cost raids. Double experience during the United fight is going to work miracles for those rank points. Already up in game, we have the 10 times experience up to 10 million campaign, and like last year, this will also repeat starting on March 22nd. Perfect timing with the rank cap too. Next are the Anniversary Skyscope missions. There's going to be about 100 of them with a ton more rewards, including Eternity Sands and a Grand Character Weapon ticket. This was followed by an insane login campaign. It's already up in the game, and I gotta say, Free Sands, Gold Bar, Sunstone and Perpetuity Ring were already amazing, but they had to throw in multiple weapon pickup tickets too. For the standard weapon ticket, it's mostly lower levels and farmable items. They added the Agonize to this list though, so if you don't have 2 already, this is a perfect chance to pick them up. Day 4 lets you pick a 100 Gold Moon weapon, which is a huge step up from the free random Excalibur of last time. I'm still unsure what to pick here. These used to be premium upgrades for primal grids, but 150 Gold Moon weapons exist now. My only primal element is Dark at the moment, and I guess a Hercules looks fun. Either that or a Nulikumi. I'll need to do more research. Day 7 is the reward I'm looking forward the most though. I'm still missing the Wamdus and Fidel summons, with this last one actually hurting a lot. The pick ticket will stay up until the 31st though, so I can go through the entire roulette before picking it, just in case I get lucky. But if I don't, this goes to Fidel, and it will be followed by 3 Sunstones too. Day 9 has a Raven's pick ticket, and this is likely going to be my 5th Sette di Spade. On top of this, we will also get an extra weapon pick ticket, with about the same items as the login one. Next up, the 10th anniversary skins. These are already up and mamma mia, Liga looks so damn cute. It's a bit strange it'll have to go to her SR version though, but we haven't gotten a Grand Lyria yet. The second one, for Lancelot. They'll be available for purchase until April 1st, after which they will only return to become permanent on the 11th anniversary, just like the 9th year anniversary ones for Galleon and Poseidon are about to be. After the skins, it's time for the anniversary ticket. Usual rules apply. It's 3000 MOBA coins and lets you pick a character including hyper limiteds and grants released before 2024 began. No 2024 Valentines, no Granblue and no Yatima. The best recommendation here would be old hyper limiteds since they are the rarest type of character, but priority varies depending on each account. If you're fine on limiteds and would rather consider a grand character instead, keep in mind the ticket will be available until April 1st, after the roulette is over. And the roulette will also go through both Flash and Lagfest. We will also be getting summer characters to rerun during it, so a little bit of patience may save you from a very painful gold moon. Moving on with the paid promotions, the Scam Shop. Once again, this is a make your own pool and you can pick 10 items to receive one of them at random as guaranteed when buying it. The limiteds here are pretty mouth-watering as well and there's no real way to lose, so I'm not even sure we can call these scams anymore. A second ticket will be available on March 29th and have some grand weapons in it, including Zeta and the new Granblue. Some chat stickers you can find in the Rupee shop, after which we move on to the classic gacha changes. On the anniversary it reset, turning the Vermilion seals into blue fragments, and it looks like they're splitting it even further with the second classic banner, moving the characters released between 2016 and 2018 into it. Eliza joins Helles and Fina in the list of characters I will likely never get. On the summon side, there's the Disciples, Thor, Hal and Mal, and the HP summons, but no Primals and no Providence kinda hurts. This was followed by the Stat Pub Classic Gacha Spar, of which the first 100 draws are going to be free. 100 more will be 1500 yen, and the last 100 will be 3000 more. Last year, this sort of made sense since it was on the normal banner, but on the classic one, I guess the best pick will be the classic one since it at least has the primal summons in it, and those are about to become really important to get dupes for. More money can be burned on a 5k yen promo that comes with a 10-part draw ticket and either a Sunstone or a Damascus bar. This will be available between March 10th and April 1st. Then, Granblue is getting on par with the rest of the gacha industry, adding a premium pass. 1000 yen a month give you some more pots, extra raid hosts, and extra journey drops level, as well as one special point that can be spent in a new pass shop. This is already in game as well, and it takes 8 months and 8000 yen for a Sunstone, or the second best reward, the Primal Anima, for 4 months of saving up and 4000 yen spent. Speaking of shops, more items have been added to dependent ones. Grandeur the Reliable and Ultimate Bahamut mats to the Renown, and rings, earrings plus agonizes to the high level one. Next, more awakenings will be made available for the Stamina Grand weapons, with Grimnir Spear getting attack and skill specs, the real winner here, Polia Bow getting CA or skill specs, while Ixaba, Ichigo, Eden and Fallen Sword get a new multi-attack node or a healing one. 20% double attack and 10% triple attack doesn't look like much to write home about though. Following them, 12 new weapon uncaps, but no details on the new skills yet. And with this, we move on to the rank cap increase from 350 to 375. Looks like the grandma got some company this time. Then a pretty interesting new update which might affect some grades. Overskill. This will affect critical, multi-attack and cap ups. Once your stat reaches the cap, 100% for critical and double attack, 20% for the cap up. The excess value will be added to crit damage in case of crit, a damage cap penetration in case of damage cap, and a chance for an extra hit if your double or triple attack exceeds 100%. This might be especially fun with characters who already have guaranteed triple attacks. A pretty neat update, especially since we're about to get higher multipliers with the Summon Transcendencies. Still, they made us wait for those, with the new Arcarum Quality of Life update, letting you burn 9 tickets on a single run and skip all the X3 fights and going straight to the boss. This was followed by new trophies for soloing Super Ultimate Bahamut, which also bring more sands. And finally, Primal Transcendence. They will be able to go up to level 250, but for each step it will take one Primal Anima, the one you get by reducing them, either that or a globe you can buy for 30 gold moons. Regardless, it's pretty damn expensive. Another alternative would be to spend Sunstones on your dupe summon to increase the amount of anima it gives, but Sunstones are still the rarest material in the game. Before making any choices, better wait for the roulette to end. The upgrades themselves look pretty solid too. Each call gets a 12-hit nuke to it, with a secondary effect changing for each summon. The skill boost increases to 170%, and when used as a main summon, they also add a 30% elemental attack boost. This means an attack-free weapon would see its value increase from 66 to 70% on a single-sided primal, and 99 to 107% on double, while crits from a Celebrate 2 weapon would also gain 2 to 4% extra for each weapon. The change doesn't seem that big, but now that overcapping is a thing, it might bring some interesting new tricks in grid building. As an added bonus, when used as sub-summons, they will also increase the attack and HP for allies of their element by 20% each. I don't even have a full level 150 primal collection, and that's going to take 10 more summons for that sub-aura effect. I don't think I'll see that happen in my lifetime. This was followed by a trailer for the Magna 3 raids and their new Summon Transcendence. Looks like we're going step by step with these ones too, with Wind and Light opening up the way. Tiamat Aura Omega and Luminera Credo Omega will be available on March 25th, and they will be 18-man raids with the normal battle system. They'll be open to rank 151, same as the Enneads, and each raid will come with 3 new weapons. New weapons they gave us no info on, so we just got to wait and see. Fire and Dark will open in May, while Water and Earth will have to wait until June for theirs. Next up, a rebalance for the less fortunate Eternals and Evokers. Uno and Quatre might finally stop being a waste of mats for their Transcendence, and I welcome any buff to Song with Open Arms. Maybe this will also finally bring Fro to a usable level too. They are going to have to wait for April 4th though, which is still a couple of days before the United fight. Can Song be core? Can I finally slot in my 150 ring Song unironically? I can't believe they're making me look forward to a guild war. They followed this up with an Ascendant Prayer for the Ravens fights, which should help newer players get into them and offer a way to chase the weapons even if they can't hit the honor requirement in raids. And for even more newbie-friendly stuff, a full step-by-step in-game guide by Zero Carte, which will give them small challenges to clear and reward them with weapons, summons, and mats to help the early game progression. Alongside these, some massive boosts to experience gains until level 151, as well as the possibility to unlock some pretty useful characters on your way there. Buell is still a great buffer, Lily is Lily, Gandalf was relevant in the last Earth Guild War, and there's your bonus complimentary Onesam down there. And if that wasn't enough, once you clear all the challenges, you get to pick a grand character of your choice. Yugen and Rosetta would be tremendous boosts for a new player too, both for the character and the weapon they come with. New players are eating really damn good. Next up, new Yukata characters to be released on April 1st. This year, the slots go to a pretty cute looking Delafil and Elmot. The literal 2 fan he has must be overjoyed. No third slot though, and hopefully they calm down with the release spam a bit too. If they copy-paste last summer's celebration, these 2 will be haunting our roles at the end of August. Then the April 5-star Uncapped, this time going to Lucio, and once again, right in time for the Guild War. Then a small reminder that the third part of the Heart of the Sun will come with a free character, but we already know that's Raziel with a chain gun. From March 14th, we will also see the start of the What Day login campaign, and a day later, the new Proving Ground with light enemies, a new dark weapon, as well as its 5-star uncap and awakening levels. This will be followed by Catselia's Arcarumgeddon event on the 22nd with the usual sandbox missions, stories and extra pose. Something will happen on April 1st, something we don't get to know about. Now it's playing with a headband and dog ears, but whatever it is, it's flying over my head. Can't be Sandro again now, can it? April 7th will see the beginning of the light favored United fight. This one should be coming with a Celestial Fist on top of the new Guild Wars skin for MC that changes style based on your honor rewards. Looks like they also removed the restriction on how many times you can reset your draw box. That's nice. That's good to help with weapon dupes, as well as first-timers who need their first weapon for the Eternal recruitments. Next up, the design for the MC skin coming with the June Guild War. Pretty sure that's going to be dark favored, and man do I love that great sword. Before we get there though, we got to go through the rest of the beast coming out on April 21st. For this one, the progression weapons are going to get a new uncap, and they're coming with 4 new girls of various degrees of cuteness. Uncapping the weapon will give you a new sigil that will need to be leveled up until they unlock the Recruitment Fate episode. Sadly, it looks like only one sigil can be obtained from each Rest of the Beast rerun, so it will take a year to collect them all. On the bright side, the next Guild Wars are light and dark, and there's going to be a second Rest of this run before we get another Elemental Guild War. If the characters come out to be pretty strong, one can start worrying about meta from the second one. I see a smirking Phoenix and I'm going to go all out on her for this mug alone. The next segment was mostly dedicated to merch and shop collabs, with a mention of the summer livestream and the Granblue Fest at the end of the year. Lastly, the roulette announcement. This has started on the 10th already, and the new gimmick this year is a 10th anniversary result. If you land on it, you get a second roulette with 50 to 100 draws result, or a single 10-part draw, but from which each item is an SSR one. If you land on the frenzy from this roulette, it won't reset your frenzy meter either. Just like last year, March 19th will be a guaranteed 100 draws at the end of the Flash Fest, while another guaranteed 100 draws will meet us on March 30th. And that's everything. Honestly, a ton of good news and quality of life coming our way, especially for new players. I'm particularly looking forward to Song's rebalance as well as the new Phoenix chick. But at the same time, I found it weird how there was no info on the Magna Transcendence cost, especially since they're supposed to eat sands. No about the weapons. They're coming out in 2 weeks, they should be finalized already. The April Fool event secrecy is fine, but what about the next collab? I doubt they're waiting for the summer livestream to announce it. Lastly, the main story quest. I thought it was about time we get at least a smidge of info about how the Estalucia speedrun is going, and when the next chapter is supposed to come out. It can't really be because of the Heart of the Sun, they've already clarified that most events are on different timelines. Speaking of which, the free Raziel is great and all, but no Grand? This might actually be because of part 3 spoilers though. I was also hoping to finally see my Alicia or Alexiel get a little bit of love, but it looks like I will be left waiting a little bit longer. Alright then, that's going to be it for me for the moment. Let me know which update you're looking forward to the most down in the comments, and see ya for the next one. Ciao!